Saram, everyone. It's definitely a privilege to be here amongst spiritual aspirants. And the one thing that connects all of us is the love for Swami. And it's that same love for Swami is what enables us to experience the wonderful grace that he showers upon us in so many different shapes and forms. Now, standing here to share an experience, it's a very humbling experience. Considering everything that has been shared up to date, everything that we have heard up to date, including this morning, has just been absolutely mind-blowing. Would you all agree? So my request is that I ask you to please lower your expectations for the next 10 minutes. Now, an experience that I'd like to share is one that happened at the Sathya Sai College in Australia. We have a primary school, or campus as we call it, and also a secondary campus. The Sathya Sai College has been operating for more than 25 years now, with very humble beginnings, with just 9 students at a devotee's home. And over the years, with Swami's blessings, the number of students grew, and from 9 students, the entire activity moved into a school premise, and the address was 9 Nallam Street. So there itself you can see Swami's blessings. It started with 9 students and it moved to 9 Nallam Street. Very healthy and very positive growth. The number of students started to grow more and more. And coupled with requests from parents and also the community wanting to see that continuity of values-based education, we started a secondary school in 2016 at the adjacent suburb. Now, the Sathya Sai College sits very, very prominently in the local community. The primary school is within the main town itself, and the secondary campus is surrounded by a very serene backdrop, very similar to the one that we see here with the Rocky Mountains. And for me, that experience is akin to traveling to Puttaparthi, and that's how very nicely the landscape envelops the entire school. So in recent years, we started to organize what we call working bees. And this is an opportunity that allows members of the organization, the devotees, to come to the school grounds and to help with some service activities just within the school in itself. Now, this started off with very simple things like gardening, pulling out weeds, wiping the windows, and then eventually that even graduated from those simple things to very specialized work, such as constructing a roof. Can you believe it? Sai devotees constructing a roof, no experience whatsoever, paving paths, painting classrooms, and this is just to name a few. So throughout the working bees, members will come to the school. They will volunteer their time, and sometimes this will also give them an opportunity to also interact with the school staff, with the students, with the parents. And this really gave them an opportunity to witness Swami's manifestation of education in human values. And I must admit that not only me, a lot of them equally felt Swami's presence as well. Now, when I was the National Service Coordinator several years ago, I had the responsibility of organizing these working bees. And after we started the secondary campus in 2016, we needed more volunteers to do the work. So initially, we only needed about 10 to 15 volunteers, but eventually that requirement doubled or even more. And we had to cover a lot of work as a result of that. So in 2018, when I was organizing the working bee, I had a conversation with Swami, and I said, all right, Swami, this is a big one. The list of tasks of what we need to do is almost going to be a mile long, and we will need a lot of volunteers. So I told him, let's aim for 50 people, 50 volunteers. So we created a registration form and we shared that information to all the devotees. Now, as Sai devotees, we are very disciplined when it comes to registration. When the registration is out, we will find out what is the last day of the registration, and then we'll only register on the last date. After numerous reminders, and that's when we will register. If only our speed to register is as quick as yearning for liberation, there will be no need for multiple reminders for registration. So I told Swami this, 50 volunteers. And as I said, not many people registered at the beginning. So multiple reminders were sent. Now finally coming towards the days and the weeks and the days as counting down towards the working bee, I told Swami, it's all right, it's your activity. If you want 10 people, 10 people will show up. If you want 15, 15 will show up. If you want 30, 30 will show up. But deep down inside, I thought to myself, let's still aim for that 50. The registration never reached 50. We had about 44 people, 43, 44 people that registered. So that Saturday morning, we had a briefing, we had breakfast, we had a briefing. And then the principal of the school was also equally having a chat as part of the briefing and just providing some updates to all the volunteers who were there. So I was standing at the back of the principal, and I was doing a head count. How many people? And you can guess by now how many people were there, including myself. I started the head count with me. 1, 2, 3, everyone. Exactly 50. No more, no less. And that is a sign that Swami says, leave the result to him. Don't be attached to the result. So, we had a very good working bee over that weekend, over 2 days. And when I say we, it was everyone. It was the young adults and the adults. And it was very nice to see the members from different parts of the state, different states equally come and volunteer as well. And I always say that when I describe the word we, is the W represents the wisdom of the adults, and the E represents the energy of the young adults. And that's what really personifies the word we, and how we should apply that in everything that we do. So that was 2018. So 2019, with that momentum, with the momentum from 2018, with that experience in 2018, we thought, okay, let's try again for 2019. So this time we upped it a little bit more. Well, we thought, we'll go for 50-55. But sorry, Swami had bigger plans, because in 2019, we had 70 volunteers, 70 volunteers. And the reason why we had 70 volunteers is because everybody who attended the 2018 Working Bee went back, took their message, took their experience, shared it with their members at the center, and everyone else who did not attend felt that they were left out, and they decided, and that time in 2019, the registration happened really quickly. We had to actually stop and cut down the registration a lot more quicker. So 70 registrations, to a point we had to actually cap it, because it would not be a working bee anymore. It will end up becoming a retreat. So we said, unfortunately, we have to actually cut down the numbers. So that particular working bee in 2019, again, across 2 campuses, we split the group, and we had a lot of specialized work, a lot of general work as well. On the Sunday afternoon, when we were finishing the work, lunch, and we had a little bit more to finish up, we locked up the secondary campus, and then a few of us made our way to the primary campus, which is in the main town itself. And there were 3 of us who were finally closing off the rooms, making sure the doors were shut, the windows were shut, and the school was left in a very good condition, because that Monday, the students were going to return for school. So I was having a conversation with a fellow brother, and then another person came to us, and he said, Vignesh, I think someone left their pair of gloves. And I said, okay, maybe we'll have this little bit of lost and found box, or we'll just leave it at the school. Now the glove was inside out when he gave it to me. So I turned it the other way around, and I don't know if we have that photo now to share. When I turned it the other way around, the color of the glove, now the impact here is if the photo is up there, but the color of the glove was Swami's orange robe. Not a shade lighter or not a shade darker. It was Swami's orange robe. And that entire weekend, that 70, not one person, if someone wears an orange glove, it'll be easy to spot. Nobody. I went around, and I made it a personal mission to even, go and go through the list of all those who attended the Working Bee. There you go. So if you see just on the railing, further down the stairs, yes. So that, and as you can see, it's exactly the color of Swami's robe. And throughout that weekend, we all do gardening here. We all have seen gloves. There'll be a mix of gray, yellow, or whatever the color is, a little bit of latex, a little bit of rubber, but this was pure orange from top to bottom. And I made it a mission to go and find out whose it was. So I went through a list of people, and they all said, no, it's not mine. And to me, even if someone had come to me after that and said, Vignesh, this is actually my pair of gloves, I would have been happy to return it to that person. But the very fact, at the very last moment, as we were wrapping up, as we were locking up the school, when we were completing everything, that pair of orange gloves comes to us, was so symbolic that Swami was there present with us. And everyone was so happy. That entire weekend, the weather was fantastic, clear skies, the food was good, we finished off the work on time, and we left the school in a way that the school students thought they were coming into a brand new school. That was the feedback that we actually received. So, to me, what was really profound in that experience is that when we often converse with Swami and communicate with Swami, our mind naturally gravitates towards a certain type or certain kind of response that we want to receive. Either, and the most common one, a flower drops from the altar, nothing. Or there is vibhuti on the photo, or there is a dream that we receive, which we do. There's plenty of these examples. But Swami also responds in so many different ways. He's omnipresent, He's omnipotent, He's omniscient, all-knowing, all-present, all-living. And we shouldn't compartmentalize our expectations of how Swami responds or replies. Because we may be expecting one thing, but here Swami is just replying right next to us. And if we compartmentalize this, we might tell ourselves that, oh, He's not listening to us. And we get so disappointed. But He's actually there, giving us a response. So it's things like this that tells us and reminds us that Swami is there, responding to us. This morning, there was in the panel session, the term Yoga Shema was used. And in simple terms, it is God looking after everything when you do God's work. And remember, it's everything. It's not some things, it is not a few things. It is everything. And that is very true. And I've personally had many experiences, and I can vouch for that. I've never had any plans to move to Australia. As brother said, I come from Malaysia. I've never had any plans to move to Australia. When that happened, it was only meant to be a 4-year stint. That's it. Go to Australia 4 years and go back to Malaysia. But 17 years on, thank you, 17 years on, after moving to Australia, Swami looked after everything. And today, I stand here with the opportunity granted by Swami to serve as the National President of Australia. And Swami looked after everything. There were many experiences that were shared throughout the duration of this conference. And I want to definitely take the opportunity to thank the organizers for allowing us to share these experiences. And it's in the name itself. SAI means so many things. That acronym means so many things to us. But it also means share and inspire. And that is what this conference has been. Do you all agree? Now, many have been blessed to have close proximity experiences with Swami. And when we hear those experiences, particularly, when we hear the wonderful stories that Arvind shares, it allows us to relive the physical presence of Swami. But the experiences that some of us have who have not had that opportunity of having that close proximity with Swami, we should also share those experiences because it allows us to experience Swami today, and we will continue to experience Swami. And I think that's the most important thing. And these experiences will help us keep Swami's mission alive. So I'll conclude by saying that if you're expecting me to share an experience of physical proximity with Swami, I'm sorry to disappoint you. But if you wanted to hear an experience that talks about how Swami shows His presence, His grace, His love, and continues to shower everything that we expect from the Lord, I hope I delivered. Sarah.